Hello everyone. Got 4 dirty jokes for you today. So once upon a time, there was a poor man who lived in a rundown apartment in a rough part of town. He worked hard every day just to make ends meet, but he always found himself struggling to get by. One Friday evening, he decided to take a stroll around the city, hoping to clear his mind and come up with a way to make some extra cash. As he was walking, lost in thought, a puff of smoke suddenly appeared in front of him. Out of the smoke stepped the devil himself, looking terrifying and ominous. "Take all the money in your purse," the devil whispered. "Go to this casino and put it all on the number 27. The poor man was shocked, but also intrigued. He had never been to a casino before, and the thought of winning big was too tempting to resist. So, he followed the devil's instructions, took all the money he had in his purse, and went straight to the casino. He found the roulette table, placed his bet on number 27, and waited with bated breath. To his surprise and delight, the ball landed on 27, and he won. Excited and elated, the poor man cashed out his winnings and left the casino. As he stepped outside, he saw the devil waiting for him. Without a word, the devil gestured for him to go back inside and put all his winnings on 27 again. The poor man hesitated, but the devil was insistent. So, he went back in, placed his bet, and to his amazement, he won again. This time, the other casino patrons took notice, and soon word spread that there was a man who had won big on number 27 twice in a row. But the poor man wasn't satisfied yet. Once again, the devil appeared and urged him to put all his winnings on 27 a third time. The poor man was hesitant. He had already won so much, and he didn't want to risk losing at all. But the devil was persuasive, and eventually, he caved in and placed his bet. To his utter shock and disbelief, the ball landed on 27 once again. The poor man had won millions of dollars, more than he ever could have dreamed of. As he left the casino, beaming with joy, he turned to the devil and said, "I don't know why people say you're the most sinister being there is. You've been so kind to me today." The devil gave him a pained look and replied, "You know something? You are the luckiest son of a gun I have ever freaking seen." So one fateful evening, 3 best friends, Jack, Tom, and Harry, were driving home from a party. Suddenly, a drunk driver swerved into their lane, causing a head-on collision. It was a tragic accident, and all of them passed away. As the news of their death spread, their girlfriends were devastated, but they knew they had to do something to honor their memory. So, they decided to gather their ashes and figure out what to do with them. The first girlfriend, Sarah, thought for a moment before speaking. "Jack loved nature more than anything," she said. "I'm going to scatter his ashes in the forest. That way, he'll be eternally connected with the wilderness he loved so much." The second girlfriend, Emily, nodded in agreement. "Tom was obsessed with marine biology," she said. "I'm going to pour his ashes into the ocean. That way, he can finally be one with the sea." The third girlfriend, Rachel, was silent for a moment. Then she spoke. "I know what I'm going to do with Harry's ashes," she said. The other 2 looked at her expectantly. "I'm going to mix them into a big pot of chili and eat it," she finished. Sarah and Emily were horrified. "What on earth? Why would you do that?" Sarah exclaimed. Rachel shrugged, saying, "I want to feel him rip through my ass one last time." So an American and a Russian, who have sinned much in their life, both die in a car accident and go to hell at the same time. As they cross over into the afterlife, they found themselves at the gates of hell. Satan himself greeted them, offering them a choice: American hell or Russian hell. The American was intrigued. "What's the difference?" he asked. Satan grinned. "In American hell, you're free to do whatever you want. We have all the finest amenities here in hell. Whatever your heart desires, you can find it here. But there's a catch: you have to eat a shovel full of manure each morning before you start your day." The Russian was unimpressed. "What about Russian hell?" he asked. Satan shrugged. "It's basically the same, but you have to eat 2 shovels full of manure before you start your day." The American didn't hesitate. "I'll take American hell," he said confidently. But the Russian surprised him by choosing Russian hell. Years passed, and the American settled into his routine in American hell. He played golf every day, hung out with friends at a swanky social club, and dined on delicious food every night. The only downside was the morning ritual of eating manure, but he learned to live with it. One day, he ran into the Russian in the afterlife. "Hey, my friend, how's it going?" he asked. The Russian looked around nervously. "Not so good," he whispered. "This is Russian hell, remember?" The American looked confused. "What's so bad about it?" he asked. The Russian sighed. "Most of the time, there's no shovel. And the rest of the time, there's no manure." So one dark and stormy night, a priest was walking home from his church. As he turned a corner, he was suddenly face to face with Satan himself. The priest was taken aback and stumbled backwards, but Satan held up a hand to calm him. "Do not be frightened," said Satan, his voice smooth as honey. "I have an offer to make you. I will make you tremendously powerful, famous, and rich in return for just one small favor: half of your ability to hear." The priest was stunned. He had never expected to meet Satan, let alone be offered such a tempting deal. "Let me think about it for a few days," he said finally, trying to keep his voice steady. The next morning, the priest went straight to the bishop. "Your Excellency, I need your advice for a temptation I have been given," he told over his strange encounter with Satan. The bishop was shocked. "A deal with Satan? Do not do it. It will destroy your soul." But the priest couldn't shake the idea of all the wealth, fame, and power he could gain. So he asked the bishop to arrange a meeting with the archbishop. The archbishop listened carefully to the priest's story, then bowed his head in silent prayer. After a few moments, he spoke. "Firstly, your hearing is a gift from God. It would be forbidden to sacrifice any part of it. Secondly, a deal with Satan. Never do it." But still, the priest couldn't resist the allure of Satan's offer. So the archbishop arranged a meeting with the Pope himself. The three of them traveled to the Vatican, feeling a mix of awe and trepidation as they entered the papal office. The Pope greeted them warmly, but when the archbishop explained the priest's situation, the Pope struggled to hear him. "Sorry," said the Pope, cupping a hand to his ear. "Could you speak a little louder?"